All right, looks like market is up about 1.2% after the close today. Looks like market spider closed at 442.55. Can you imagine we're at this number? It seems like just yesterday market is hovering around 350s and 60s. We were hearing things from the sellers that we'll never see 400 again. But here we are at 442. This is the first time a spider getting above 440 level since the April of last year. Seems as though market is continued to march higher to the upside while everybody else is out there trying to figure out, is this market is ever going to slow down, or are we going to continue to see sort of like FOMO panic buying activities to continue? So as you can see, as we talked about on the last night's analysis, that as you can see right here, that the micro-term moving average has been acting as support quite some time. So we actually slightly gap down. You see this world open here. We gap down. However, the micro-term was right there to capture it. We thrusted above it. Once it was thrusted to the upside, seems as the prior swing high right here that acted as resistance before, acted as a new support on that second hour, as you can see. And market continued to rally to the upside. Just looking at this, obviously, it's interesting to note that there are no down gaps. I've been talking about this for this entire week and last week, that there are no down gaps until 460s. It's so crazy how this works, because I think last time when I showed that there's no down gap until 460s, I think this was around at 420s. It felt as though there's so much of long way to go, right? I mean, it seemed like it was an unsurmountable level to climb to get to 460. But if you look at it now, it's so crazy how it looks so much reachable now as we're trading at 442 here. We're only to 460 down gap. We're only about 4% away. And just the way the chart is, it seems like we're not too far out.
Perfect.
And looking at the oscillator here, is a oscillator cross back up. We talked about that yesterday. If we do see oscillator crossing back up, you do want to assume that the trend will continue. And we also talked about the fact that only way the bear is going to make this work is gapping down below the micro term and making sure the gap remains. The down gap, obviously, they were not able to do that. That gap, or that micro term, continued to act as support last 3 hours of trading sessions here, as you can see. With that oscillator crossing back up here, as you can see, and continue to advance, market is favoring the buyers going into tomorrow. This is a NASDAQ 100 Qs here. As you can see, very similar to the spider, that micro-term moving average been acting as support here all throughout. But check out that oscillator. It's been pancaked on the upside, moving sideways for days, if not more than a week now. And this is something that you don't see a lot. As you can see, if I do that, you'll see these oscillators will cross back and forth. Maybe even give you some sort of bearish divergence or some sort. I mean, this oscillator right here is very flat. And I don't know if you guys remember, a lot of you guys still watching me since, because I started these daily update videos since 2020 March lows, because I was bored when they locked us down. So I started doing these videos on a daily basis and looking at the 65-minute chart. There weren't many incidents. What I can remember is maybe once or so, twice or so, we've saw this happening during 2020. But this isn't something is common. So when you see the oscillator moving sideways like this, it actually poses very bullish sentiment, and there's a strength behind it because bulls not even allowing this 65-minute chart oscillator to oscillate. That's what they do. They oscillate back and forth. That's what they call oscillator. But they're not oscillating. They're moving sideways. The reason I showed you that on the NASDAQ here, NASDAQ 100 Qs, this is a possibility on Spider, where this could potentially happen, where we could see the oscillator move sideways. I don't know how long, and market continues to ride the micro-term moving average. Like I said yesterday, if you're a seller here and you're looking for any sort of correction or pullback, you're desperately seeking the lower prices, well, the micro-term needs to be reclaimed to the downside, preferably some sort of down gap. But you can see we're actually now kind of far here. So if this thing comes down here, it's gonna act this. So you gotta at least break below it. But slightly breaking below is not always gonna work, because you can see right here that didn't work. It needs to be like a down gap and needs to hold below it for at least several hours for any sort of a correction.